that you carry, any luggage you take, all the ghosts you keep in hiding, they don't scare me away.
Okay, ni staan koki niskem. We got my Nitakawa here, Jarrett Prettyyoungman. This is going to be season 2, episode 2 of Sit Down with Nin'na for you guys over there on the web. And for the radio, this is 104.7 CFXX. And yeah, we got Jarrett Prettyyoungman. He's going to give us a little bit about himself. We're going to talk about relay racing and just some other subjects we can conjure up. But yeah, I'll let I'll let him introduce himself.
Okay. Okay. Gusto na go ka kuhkini.
Oh. Pakisabi.
Itsinana to pa sa papestats spite Siksika. Okay. My name is Jarrett Prettyyoungman. I am here to talk about Indian relay and all the things that we can conjure up as my brother here.
Oh, yeah. But kind of like one thing I wanted to talk about today was, basically bring you in is because there's a lot of people on the reserve that are very curious about what you guys do. They would like to start doing it, or they would like to know more. Well, because I don't really know don't know enough about relay racing history. Can you just tell the people, the people on how you got started, or just what do you like about relay racing?
Well, it started off by from the late Thomas Many Guns and the team Okan Warriors. Watching them boys, represent Siksika, especially at the greatest outdoor show on earth, Stampede. And it was such an inspiration to me and my family that we had to jump on board and join the Indian relay sport. My family had a long history of running thoroughbreds throughout the years, and so yeah, it all started from watching them boys, Allison Red Crow, and he's still racing today, till this day. That's where it started from, and I asked my late Uncle Leo that I wanted to get involved in relay racing, and he said, I'm gonna buy the horses and I'm gonna call you when the horses are down. And not even long after Stampede, he phones me and says the horses are here, and that the rest is history. We started from there, practicing, just learning firsthand from my Uncle Leo, my Uncle Rufus, Kelly Crow Chief, Jonathan Slay, Allison telling us Mark Big Tobacco. Them boys really encouraging us to, keep going and helping us out along the way on the sport of relay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, in terms of all of that, how would you think that's kind of helped you in your kind of with yourself? Because I know some people do some things like that to get away from things. Like for me, I go to powwows, right? And I do that because it helps me mentally. Does that kind of help you on a mental scale?
Yeah, big time. I mean, horses are, they're, I mean, I don't know where to start, but big time in the healing part. They've been part of our culture for, thousands of years, and we've always relied on them and used their strength. But yeah, for my mental health, I love taking care of them. I love the sport. I love representing Siksika Nation and my family. I also, I plan to further this team and give it back to the youth, so they have they can benefit from the healing and whatnot that goes on with the horse.
Yeah.
And the sport.
Oh, yeah. Also, too, I noticed, well, I already not noticed, but I already know you're kind of like into a lot of culture, right? And this is just an idea that I was kind of throwing around, especially with this upcoming Sundance, right? How do you think we could get more people down to Sundance? Or what are kind of like, because I had this idea of trying to get more people involved, because I was actually talking to some people that they kind of don't know that they can just go down to Sundance, and they can just, they feel like they have no invite because they're not a society member. Or what would your advice be to those people out there that want to go down to Sundance, or kind of, like I was even talking today with some people, they were saying they feel like it's just for society members, and there's no real, and they say they feel like there's no invitation, or what would you tell those people, kind of in a way, that want to come to Sundance but don't know how?
I would go encourage them to go to to go seek an elder and talk with them.
Yeah.
About the questions they may have regarding the Sundance, because that's only protocol. In our ways, we always seek advice from our elders. And as far as trying to encourage people to go down there, we can definitely encourage a lot of people to go there by simply, we can't force people to go, force them to go to camp, force them to go see an elder. We can only do it ourselves, because that's our responsibility to make sure that camp is going, because that's we can only encourage our people to participate. We can't force this upon us, even though this was taken away from us. We can only pray about it. Mm-hmm. We can only have ceremonies and pray about it, and try our best to live according to the rules.
Yeah.
Try our best to live according to, following the rules and whatnot, and trying our best to maintain this way of life, because who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
And this is what makes us Siksika, is the agukats and our our way of life, Siksikates at the peace.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's an honor to hold something of our people, of our ancestors. It's a blessing. I've learned so much. I've helped me so much with my life, and I don't know what I'd do without it. I don't know where I'd be, because that's my whole life. My career is revolved around our culture, and the only way to encourage people is by living you're trying to live a good life and lead by example. So as far as encouraging people, that was my healing, is knowing why are we like this. Well, there was a 30-year gap when our ways were gone for 30 years.
Yeah.
And that really affected our people. And we're at this point in time where our language is we're in a crisis, I think. Our language, we need to, work together, work with everyone to maintain our way of life.
Yeah.
Before we lose it.
Yeah. I don't know if you share the same concern as me. Well, it sounds like you do, but for myself, I kind of feel like I'm also too a little bit worried, like with the amount of people that speak Blackfoot. I kind of feel that we're kind of at a point where we're almost losing it, even the way we think, I know that on the reserve there's people that think very kind of in a non-native way, that collective thinking isn't there anymore. I kind of feel like, I don't know if you probably do share that same concern. And it sometimes it kind of scares me because, I don't ever want Siksika to not be here because, like you said, a Gokatsin is what makes us Blackfoot. What are we going to do without it? We won't have Siksika without a Gokatsin. And I think people need to know the importance of what a Gokatsin is, that's who we are, Blackfoots, that's where who we, like, basically there's more to it than just all of that, it's just like, especially with the way things are going now. But yeah, kind of like, I don't know, you probably do. Well, I've said this 3 times I repeat it, but yeah, do you share that same concern as I do? Kind of like being scared that one day we may possibly lose.
Yeah, and it's always in the back of my mind, and in my job as well. But what I'm trying to do about it is, through my work, is I'm trying to start putting together and looking at how we can save our language. And one of the ways that I've talked with a few of my colleagues, and one of the ways is a full Blackfoot immersion school.
Oh wow!
So, and the Blackfeet have a Blackfoot immersion school. Our brother tribe down south. They got a full Blackfoot immersion school. So we're gonna go take a visit, and how can we support that?
Yeah.
Financially. If it's gonna be meaning another school.
Yeah.
How can we work together? Not just one department running it, but many, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many. So that's one of the things that I'm working towards.
Oh, that's really good. I didn't even know that. So, but yeah, well, that's all we have time for this segment. That was the first segment, 104.7 CFXX, Sit Down with Nin'na. And we are here with Jarrett Prettyyoungman. And yeah, to you out there, we'll be back after one click. But yeah, peace out. Come back, segment 2. And yeah, we are back, 104.7 CFXX. We are back with Jarrett Prettyyoungman. And yeah, we were kind of on a roll with all that stuff about Siksika and cultural stuff and the stuff how it's important to Siksika and other important things like facilities and things that could be built. Well, what do you think about a racetrack that could possibly be built, or some sort of facility like that could actually help people practice more or do Indian relay or rodeo, just stuff like that, general things like that. Well, what's your thought on that?
Well, there was I was part of a committee there at the Agriplex, and they were in the stages of purchasing a racetrack. So that kind of just after late Rick Running Rabbit was in full support of purchasing a racetrack, and he really put a lot of work into getting the track and getting the teams together and getting the people that raced horses and getting their input, and it got to the point where we they were gonna purchase a track, and Rick had passed away during that time, and we didn't reconvene. So it is one of my plans to submit something to chief and council or to anywhere where we can push for a racetrack, because the benefits of the racetrack would be huge. Of course, there's the Indian relay racing, and on top of that, I know the calf ropes race on the main track there, and there's a few trainers there. We got a few, and there's a lot of people that race on the track that need a place to train. That would be convenient to not only us, but to keep our youth connected to the horse.
Yeah.
Learning about grooming and whatnot, reconnecting them. We're the only reserve that doesn't have a racetrack, and yet we're the only reserve that has like more than four relay racing teams. So yeah, that's one of my goals, and just to set it up, put together a racetrack, see how it looks, and push forward with it.
Yeah. What kind of ideas would you have for this racetrack? Like in terms of just like, cause in a different podcast, we were talking about like some sort of, not the same, but a similar facility, like, and there were like ideas where they were like, oh, it'd be nice we could probably also sell things there too, or maybe like have different, like provide racers if they need types of uniforms or something, or like some sort of like, do you have any ideas pertaining to that? Like maybe like cool ideas, like imaginative, like for myself, I was talking with Travis actually. Travis, Travis. He had the idea that we should have like this hockey place where we would be like, oh, we could purchase hockey equipment, we could purchase whatever you need, and it'll be provided by the reserve and stuff like that, or just even have our own sports store by the trail market there. Do you have like any ideas like to go with the racetrack? So some like that, doesn't have to be super specific, but like cool like ideas that you could probably put towards it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one that pops out in my head is having a mentorship.
Yeah.
For youth.
Yeah.
Teaching them about, horses and in the horse racing industry.
Yeah.
Like even having shows, getting them job opportunities to work there through the summer.
Yeah.
What would mean working a tractor, grooming a track, cleaning stalls out, putting together stalls, fixing up the area and whatnot. And I can see a lot of opportunities coming from a racetrack. It's just investing, looking at it in a way where we're going to be investing our youth and down the road.
Yeah.
They'll have a place to learn
Yeah.
how to ride, learn how to relay race.
Yeah.
Definitely the teams will be definitely using it all the time. Just spring training started today, not long ago. Some teams have been going all week already, getting ready for the relay races and getting their horses ready. And where do they usually go is they, just on their own track or their own area they use to train their horses and whatnot. But I think it would be a huge benefit. Not only that, it would give our elders something to watch.
Yeah.
A place where they can go and watch these races, right front row seats. You know. Investing in the community events like that. If you have ever been to a relay race, it draws in a pretty big crowd, and that's a place where these young athletes showcase their talent in front of their people. Riding in front of their people, going for the win.
Yeah.
So not only are we investing in our youth, but we're investing in the community by purchasing our Siksika's very own racetrack.
Oh yeah, huh? Like you were saying, well, because I seen you guys were, well, what's it like racing at the grandstand? Is it do you get nervous on big times like that, especially with the grandstand? That's got to be nerve-wracking, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really is nervous, but I look at it as a truly a blessing, because not too long ago I was in the grandstand wishing I could relay race at the Calgary Stampede, and I worked my butt off and staying committed and trying our best to make that show and to be invited and to continuously work at it to be there. It's truly a blessing, and I hope to share that with the youth one day.
Yeah.
To set that up so they can experience that as well.
Yeah. Also too, just because I fell off of a horse, actually. It was a couple of years ago. I think 2015. I almost got strung up, and I got dragged across the gravel, and that was on a saddle. How do you does it take a lot of training to, or I guess just basic practice to be able to ride bareback? Because though, I can't even stay on a horse while it's trotting bareback. I've tried it and I fell off. But does it just take practice?
Yeah, just like with any sport. I mean, I myself, I'm not a by all means, I'm no expert rider. I'm the ground crew guy.
Oh yeah.
But from what I've seen and what I've been around, these jockeys they've been around their horses their whole lives, and this is very natural for them to ride at that speed and having that agility, and not only that, it's in their blood. we come from warriors, and it's just that's the whole sport of relays. It's almost like you're reliving the past.
Yeah.
And we want to know who has the fastest horses in the prairies.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to strive to be, is to be the best team.
Yeah.
At the same time, helping each other out.
Yeah.
To be their best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, the jockeys, I mean, there's some up and coming jockeys from Siksika that are making their way, and you're gonna be seeing a lot more of them come out this year. One of them from the Big Tobacco team is Ian Big Tobacco. He's the young guy, and also Jaden Leather. He's another jockey. You got Justin, the McGuire boys.
Yeah.
You got these young guys that are athletic, that want to win, that are working hard, staying in shape, preparing to race. So yeah, these jockeys are they're meant for this.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. I mean, cause for myself. So I'll just explain it. We got a little bit of time, tiny bit of time. I got strung up on a horse and I just got road rash. I got dragged across the gravel, and well, it's not been hard for me. I just haven't had time to jump back on a horse. But yeah, anyways, that's all the time we have for the second segment. That was Jarrett Prettyyoungman, 104.7 CFXX. Come back for segment 3. Good at that. Inisk.
Hey, hey.
I'll show you some of Trevor's outtakes. They're pretty funny. I think that's it. Okay. Okay, not be not Doocy. We are back with segment 3 of Sit Down with Nin'na, 104.7 CFXX. We just finished talking about relay racing, and yeah, right, that was relay racing, but now we're just basically, now I want to continue the conversation with Jarrett Prettyyoungman. Kind of like, can you just give us a little bit about your singing career, kind of like as a powwow singer, kind of like, can you just give me a little bit on how you got into it, how you like it, and why you're so crisp? Because you're pretty crisp. But yeah.
I always enjoyed singing. I remember being a little young lad at my grandpa's house, and they would have I'd see these old guys all in there singing, and it's just ever since that moment it just kind of stuck with me, and I've always wanted to learn how to sing. And I know Sheldon Bearshirt, Leonard Bearshirt, Lawrence, I started to sing with them. They started to show me, the Bearshirt boys, and I really liked it. I wasn't the greatest. Then when I joined the Horns, we had to learn these songs, and practicing and singing, and it was just I worked at it. I practiced, and then we started to get together, me and my brothers, and we started to sing, and we started to learn together, and that's where I really learned how to sing. I'm learning from my older brother there, Kent, a young man, learning from, Alvin, Weasel Child, Nato Kamina, Kestipinyakitapi, and Nato Boots, learning from our grandfathers. And then we finally just said we wanted to just sing some power songs, and we started singing. And I've always looked at and listened and listened to drummers, the Turning Robes, and just Blackwood Crossing, Black Otter, just singing, like just listening to drumming and trying to learn how to sing, and it truly is healing. Like for myself, that's why I love singing. Is I'm not part of any drum group or anything. I just sing because I love singing.
Yeah.
It's part of who I am, especially singing songs that are ancient.
Yeah.
Singing songs that our ancestors sung. That's powerful,
Yeah.
right? That's like you're literally connected. You're feeling a sense of belonging, and
Yeah.
that's why I sing no matter, and I'm learning constantly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best singer out there, but I'm always grateful to learn, sit beside people who are professional singers. Even right through all the other drum groups, and listening to all these top drum groups. That's awesome that us native people can beautify music that way.
Yeah.
And when the non-native try and copy, it does not sound the same. So
Yeah.
we're meant to. That's ours.
Yeah.
And it sounds so beautiful. And I just love singing. I can't talk anymore about singing. It's awesome.
Kind of those non-natives when they we're going to a powwow. Gonna have a real good time. Powwow. They're backup singers. But did you just kind of because I remember, so I heard you lead at the round dance or the owl dance. You were and holding that high C pretty wicked. Not gonna lie, you're sounding pretty crisp. I was like, I just had to put my hand to my heart quickly. It's like, this guy. Even Brooker's getting into it, huh?
Yeah.
I see that.
Just starting to sing, and it's what it is. If we don't do it,
Yeah.
there's even little guys that are singing, and that's what it's all about. Is
Yeah.
our Eleeus that tell us Siksika was known for singers.
Yeah.
Siksika was known to
Yeah.
be singers, and it's within all of us.
Yeah.
It's just if we want to ask for help and how to sing,
Oh yeah.
and getting over that shyness,
Yeah.
getting over that, your egos you have to put aside and learn. Like I've been learning from Lane too.
Oh yeah.
And he's younger than me,
Yeah.
and he's a good singer.
Yeah, he's pretty crisp. Huh?
He's a really good singer, and this shows the talent that there's more singers that we need to bring up,
Yeah.
so we don't lose our songs, because that's another thing.
Yeah.
The language, and the songs. That's another important thing is if we don't sing those songs anymore, then we might end up back in Glenbow.
Really wicked, huh? That's kind of crazy when you think about it too. It's just like we got our cultural side, right, with all the, but then there's so much more, you know, like the owl dancing. Well, I didn't even know we, like, when Herman was talking at the owl dance, I didn't know that we would just go chill out and sing some round owl dance songs, you know. Those are like, that's like the culture part is just, it's a big part of our culture, but it's like we also sang like all these owl dance songs, and there's hundreds of them, and then there's the other parts, you know, just being overall Blackfoot, you know, the way we picked things, you know, the way we prepared our food, you know, pemmican, you know, the way we dried our meat was Blackfoot. There's just so much that we've basically, we're basically itching our mosquito bite a little bit, kind of. We haven't scratched it till it bleeds from the center. But yeah, I mean, that's a horrible analogy, but we haven't scratched it very hard till it starts to, you know. But yeah, it's crazy to think that there's just all this extra stuff, even Indian relay, you know, that's still part of culture, you know, powwow, chicken dancing, you know, the societies. We could go on and on them all day, but there's probably just thinking about like the singing, the dancing. There's I know like the powwows, right? People think powwows are spiritual, but it's basically a social part of the dance and stuff. But yeah, that's basically it's pretty important, any aspect, I guess. Yeah. But like also too, I wanted to know like you're kind of like cause what would you say to younger people out there who just want to start and are kind of, I guess, nervous, you know, kind of trying to get into it, trying to like I want to sing, but I just don't know where to start. I don't know who to talk to. What would your advice be to them?
I tell them to go look up our Facebook page, Prevention Early Intervention. There is a drumming jam session happens every Tuesday evening at the Siksika Support Center.
Oh, really?
From 4:30 to 7, and that's for anybody who wants to come and just sit down and sing some songs and learn.
Yeah.
And there's usually quite a bit of youth that, you know, show and they've come a long way. They're picking it up, and which is pretty good. So that would be my advice. Another would be, you know, go ask questions, go see people who sing, and if they want to learn, you can't just ask once and forget about it. You gotta continuously pursue it till you know, get it, and you love doing it. You gotta love wanting to know, wanting to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's be like, now give me a pack of cigarettes. Brush me. Go to the door, leave your blanket at the door, and walk to me again. I was joking. Well, but yeah, I think that's all for the third segment. I think we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about Jared's workplace, what he does for work, and just overall things. What else he wants to talk about and stuff like that. But yeah, come back. CFXX 104.7. We're gonna be back in a couple minutes with Jarrett Prettyyoungman. Okay, we are back. 104.7 CFXX with Kuhkini. Jarrett Prettyyoungman. What did we finish talking about? We finished talking about singing, how crisp you are, how wicked you are, and stuff. And now we're on to some different subjects. You work for Siksika early prevention.
Siksika prevention and early intervention.
Okay, yeah. Just kind of give the people, give us what you do for your work. Kind of tell us what you do.
So I work for Siksika Family Services, prevention early intervention department. I work as the cultural coordinator.
Yeah.
So part of my job is just helping with programming, implementing cultural programming into the different areas that are going on. Just also setting up ceremonies, like for the community and for the children that are in care. So we work with children's services, and yeah, and we've had a lot of we've been doing a lot of programming throughout the year. We just finished having our men's wellness camp, Blackfoot Men's Wellness Camp. We've just we're doing Blackfoot archery. We have various programming throughout the months. Our calendar is out for April and March.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically, in a nutshell, bringing our people back to our culture. How do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of my job, is trying to educate and encourage and kind of bridge that gap. Educate our community on the public knowledge of our culture, and utilizing traditional healing to, I keep saying but utilizing our traditional way of life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love my job. It's some days it's hard to do, but if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be successful at it.
Yeah.
And this is, I love my team.
Mm-hmm.
My team is, we have to have a strong team to do good for our community.
Mm-hmm.
So just going back, you have to, it's a pretty important job. The way I take it is re-educating our people on pointing them in the right direction, exposing them to ceremonies, teaching them getting them connected with our elders, and trying to incorporate language. It does seem like it's a heavy load, but little by little, I think we're making progress. I think we're doing a good job with what we can.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of tough cases and issues that arise, and we use ceremony to get through those difficulties, those obstacles in a good way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love my job. I enjoy what I do. The best part about it is growing relationships with the participants that take part in these programs. And that's my line of work. I love doing is I love helping people, pushing them to be their best that they can be, and being a motivator, being a go-getter, and that's, I think, what I was called to do, spiritually talking. I think that's my calling, unless I go somewhere else and do it, do work somewhere else, wherever a creator wants me to be.
Yeah.
Because that's the one who I rely on. I really rely on our prayers and our ceremonies and our elders and their advices. And yeah, that's what my job does. And I work alongside a lot of good people, and that do a lot of good work too within our area. We have the reunification team, the prevention team, the community education team, the youth team, and the culture team.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing I can really say that will that I haven't said already. It's just we got, we run into difficulty just like everyone else. And but we're doing our job and the best we can within our capabilities.
Yeah. Kind of like, because when I was talking with Trevor too, he was telling me about his job, kind of, and he was talking about like the people that he's connected with, and kind of, do you kind of feel that connection sometimes, that where you help somebody in a certain predicament, I'm not judging at all, but like some people go through hard times, they go through times of where they kind of stop believing in, culture altogether. But, has there been times where you've felt really good about helping somebody or connected really good with somebody in a sense that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you work for, right? Like, you work for, your heart to really help people out. And it's, at the same time too, you gotta make sure your air mask is on before you can help somebody else. And the workers do go through a lot of things that we have to deal with on our own. And we have to deal with our own issues if we want to help somebody with theirs. And like, it's like, there's times there where we've all had our tough days, but we've worked through that, and we continue to say our prayers and lead and try our best to overcome the obstacles that are in front of us.
The thing that you reminded me of too was the people that the old people, the old people that a lot of people look up to, like Mark Wolflag, Maggie Black Kettle, Mrs. One Gun, and One Gun. I kind of, you probably have the same thought too. Kind of like, you reminded me that, I kind of look up to them. It's kind of like something that I aspire to be when I'm like older. One Gun. After every day, he never lost faith. No matter good or bad. He was a really wise person. At the end of the day, he would still smudge. He would still have that same thought. Even Maggie Black Kettle, still smudging every day. That's how strong our people are, and our ancestors. I basically aspire to be our ancestors. Just that's what you made me think about, is because I We go through our tough days, and so did our ancestors, but they were so strong that they would just keep going, Nothing ever bothered them. Nothing ever brought them down and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if you have the same thought, but you kind of made me think of that, In a way, it kind of makes me wish I could talk to them sometimes, in a sense, or get some wisdom in those times of I guess need, or sometimes, But yeah, you just made me think of that. But one other subject I wanted to talk about too was you've been into powwow, you've been into all these things. We only got like less than 2 minutes, but maybe very quickly, maybe just what would your advice be to somebody who's kind of struggling, in a sense? What would your, ending off message be to those who are struggling out there and listening?
Well, my advice would be to I'll pray.
Yeah.
Just to pray and believe in what you're saying, and believe in that what you're asking for.
Yeah.
And to not give up. Not to give up. Just to have Creator in your life, that's all you need. And trust in the people who He brings you to for help.